It's the 25th of August as we leave New Grimsby Sound in the Isles of Scilly. We have enjoyed 5 sunny days here, but Storm Erin is fast approaching, bringing over 5 metres of swell. So with not enough shelter here, it was time to leave. We could see on AIS over 30 boats were also leaving the islands this morning. And for the next couple of days, the ferries had even been cancelled, so the forecast must be bad. We soon had some visitors come and join us on our passage. The dolphins must have known we were sad to leave. We both love watching the dolphins when we sail. They seem to really enjoy swimming alongside us and keeping us company. We had decided to go around Lizard Point as this would give us the best protection from the southwesterly winds and swell that were coming with Storm Erin. We poked into Port Hallow Anchorage to have a look at the protection there for the night, but decided there was still too much swell rolling in, so we continued on to the Helford River. We anchored in Ponson's Cove, and it took a couple of attempts to get a good hold in, but we held tight overnight, and then the next day we could go off to explore. There were lots of boats in the Helford River with local yachts on buoys and lots of visitor mooring buoys as well, so plenty of room for everyone. We enjoyed 3 nights at anchor in the Helford River, but it was soon time to move on again as the forecast was so changeable. It's quite a long and winding channel, and you need to keep an eye on the depths, but there's always something to see, and we try not to get in the way of the sailing training. Our next anchorage was in the bay in front of Trelisic House. The holding was very good, but we had to get the calculations right with the length of chain. The bay shallows very quickly, and with our 2-metre draft we needed to make sure we had enough depth as the tide changed. Our original plan had been to stay here a few more nights and weather out the strong winds, but after a lightning storm last night, we decided we didn't have as much shelter from the wind as we had hoped. So we're off again today, this time to Plymouth. However, when we phoned Mayflower Marina, they didn't have room for us. It would seem because of the forecast all the berth holders had come home early. So we sailed on to Salcombe instead. The sun was shining and we had a lively downwind sail. It was quite a welcome relief to get tucked in behind the cliffs as we entered into Salcombe and get protection from the wind and the rolly sea. But you do need to keep a watch on the chart as you approach Salcombe because there's a sandbar to navigate. There's also some rocks that you definitely want to miss. It was so much calmer now that we were in the protected waters of Salcombe, and we headed up the river to find the harbour master, and he would allocate us a berth for the night. The harbour master took us a long way up the river into what they call the bag, as this would give us the best protection from the wind and swell with the coming storm. Previously, when we'd visited Salcombe, we had stayed on the mooring buoys opposite the town, but as they'd offer us less protection with the storm, we were happy to take a mooring buoy further up the river this time. With a break in the weather, we were able to take the dinghy to shore and go and explore. We enjoyed the sunshine, but not so much the rain. They might have been heavy showers, but fortunately they didn't last long, and it didn't spoil the day as we explored in and around Salcombe. It also gave us the chance to check the conditions at the entrance to Salcombe as we were thinking of leaving the next day. Fortunately, the sea conditions were much calmer than yesterday, and we had no problems passing the sandbar. But the protection of Salcombe Harbour wasn't going to last for long as we headed out into the open sea, where we were going to experience a rolly and lively passage all the way to Brixham. Fortunately, neither of us get seasick, so the rolling up and down in the waves isn't too much of a problem as we head on our way. And it's always good to see somebody else out sailing as well, and we give them a wave as we go past. We had read on Captain's Mate, the Cruisers Association app, that there were visitor mooring buoys in Fishcombe Cove, which was just past Brixham, so we went to take a look and see if we could get one. There were 3 empty visitor mooring buoys, so we picked one up and tied to it for the night. Unfortunately, the weather is changing yet again, so we're leaving early this morning and heading off to Portland. We only go out of the cockpit if we really need to, and this time Simon went to try and tighten the leech line to get a better shape in the genoa. There's a strong tide around Portland Bill, and you have to get your calculations right, and we're 3 miles offshore as we go round in slack tide. With another storm approaching, we could be in Portland for several days. Having felt the strength of the wind that day, it was good to be tucked up in Portland Marina, and it gave us the ideal opportunity to catch up with some really good friends who live nearby. The sun came out this morning, and it was lovely to take a walk with our friends along the cliffs, and they happened to know of a very good pub along the way, and we stopped for lunch. We also tried our hand at fly fishing at the local lakes, hoping to catch trout for dinner. I'd never tried fly fishing before, and it's certainly much harder than it looks. Unfortunately, we didn't have to wait too long before Simon got the first trout of the day. And with very careful editing, I've made it look like I caught the second one of the day. A big thank you, Ian. We had a fantastic time and your trout for dinner was delicious. We ended up staying in Portland for 6 nights as we waited out the weather, ready to sail across to France. But more about that next time. And a little treat if you've made it this far. Sorry, Ian. I hope you'll forgive me.